Well, this video is called "Is the Church Turning Wine into Water?" when in fact actually Jesus turned water into wine, which I think speaks volumes, and he actually wanted us to have a good time. So I really asked myself, and I'm beginning to think myself the other day in church at a Sunday morning service, I thought, do I really need so much of this? It's all about sin and redemption, and there's nothing except in the hymns. There's not a lot about the joy and joy of Christianity, and also the feeling of love and acceptance and forgiveness. It's all on sin. I started, it's rather bad really when you think about it, I started to count as I was sitting there how many times sin was mentioned in 1 hour. And it's 11 times in that service. And when I got home, I thought, well, I'll delve in a bit more. And I'm going to have to look at some notes now to see some of the other expressions that the church is rather keen about using. And so here we go. I'm going to read them. Evil, wickedness, penitent, devices, desires, bewail, wrath, indignation, trespasses, faults, fall down, continual crying, miserable offenders, sharpness of death. And also, in that Sunday service, we're not worthy to pick up the crumbs under the table, Christ's table. I think that's pretty dire. So just quickly to recap, you go into a church for a Sunday service where you're looking for, well, I think you're looking for sort of acceptance and joy and love and welcoming, which all the people who run these churches are very welcoming. But when you get down to the service, it is really quite dire. And you know, the other thing is once you know all the words by heart, which obviously I do, I've been in the world 87 years, so I've been a Christian for a very long time. I do know the words by heart. They can become quite meaningless. You're just saying them because you know them. And it's not the same. You don't have any feeling really about them if you're not very, very careful. When you consider all the things that I've just said, and that is taking up an hour of people's time, probably a little bit longer on a Sunday, when really everybody's lifestyles have changed dramatically. Both men and women go out to work. They're tired at weekends. They have children, and children need to participate in all sorts of things, from football to whatever. There are many activities for children that take place over weekends. Have many families really got time to find that 1 hour to go and be told how sinful they are and that they need forgiveness? I really wonder. Well, anyway, I think the proof's in the pudding, isn't it? They're not turning up, are they? They're just not there. And also, I started to think more about it because it certainly concerns me, as I'm sure it does concern the church. I work, well, I'm a volunteer actually for a local radio station, and I run a program which is interviewing young entrepreneurs, or maybe middle-aged, but they're certainly not old like me, and they're not retired, they're at it. And I find it a huge privilege to listen to their stories, quite extraordinary. And I say to myself, I just wonder, I don't know, but I wonder whether these people actually go to Sunday services. And you know, the feeling is, I don't know that they probably do. And then I said to myself, well, maybe I should recommend that they should come to church. I couldn't find it in my heart to do so. I thought I can't ask people to go along to a church which hasn't many people in it, and the people that are in it are old and mostly, I'm afraid, are middle-aged. They're not young, they're not vibrant. The church is probably cold, and the whole service is based on sin and forgiveness. Oh, goodness, the more I thought about it, the more I thought I couldn't. You know, if you've got something to really believe in, you're very excited about, you want to tell people about it. You say, do you know, I've seen this wonderful play. There's a marvellous local theatre we have where I live, and they put on some wonderful stuff. And I'm always saying to people, oh, you must go along and see that. It's so good. I can't say that about our church's Sunday services. So what am I doing about it? I'm going to try and rewrite the church services, and one of them anyway. And actually I know one of the people that I interviewed is a marvellous graphic designer, and I'll actually get a little booklet done okay, it'll probably fill up. The bishops know me, I'm always writing to them. And I laugh to myself sometimes when I think how I must be filling up their wastepaper baskets. But I hope they'll listen to this. I hope they'll see that very often it's a very simple correction to get something to completely change. I remember when I was a child in a boat, and if you move the tiller very slightly, the boat swung round enormously and changed everything. So my plea is to the hierarchy of the Church of England. I spoke previously on centralisation. It's not a good idea. You've got to spread the word throughout the country. You've got to put more priests, and you've got to get our churches with lovely services, and you've got to get them singing again. Because we are in a multicultural society, and very soon the Church of England, if it hasn't got something really exciting to offer, which is what Christianity is all about, joy, love, all those exciting things, then it will die.